Hey everyone. Well, it's the last weekend of our 2025 Junk Mail January, and I have several things I want to show you today. I'll go ahead and show you the project for today, and that way you can decide if it's something you're interested in, and then I'll show you a few other things, and then we'll get into the project. The project is from junk mail envelopes, and it is a flip out. I was thinking I would use it like I would sew this, I would have my signature in here. Wish I had some papers to show you, kind of like this page. I would sew it like this. And so, it would be, you could write on this side. Of course, this one has sewing. So I like the crazy sewing, so I would probably leave it. There would be writing down here. And then on this side, there's a flip out. There would be writing all in these areas. Or you could, of course, put it in the center of your signature in the middle to where it's a flip out like this. Now this one has a pocket in the back, which I'm thinking I kind of did that backwards because in order for the pocket to be, I'm sorry, I see I'm doing this backwards. On the out, I could do it where the pocket was on the outside, but then my words on this part would be upside down. So to get it right, my pocket's going to be towards the middle of the fold, which I don't really like because then it's hard to get your things out. But I kind of did that one backwards. So that's the one for today. And the pictures I put in there were just, I made them on book page, and I did a little bit of watercolor with the Tim Holtz distress crayons. And then I just did some doodling for my pictures. And I sprayed on some of this distress spritz, which I wanted to say thank you to Doris for reminding me about those. I completely forgot to use those. And in the last video where we were coloring papers, she mentioned that she had used this. I think that's what she was saying. And I thought, shoot, I need to be using those. So I love it. And I actually got some on the window, and it does kind of scratch off, which is fine. But I'm not going to wipe it off. Look, it's on my fingers because I like the way it looked. Another version of it, because everybody has different envelopes, was this one. And this one I haven't decorated up yet, but to show you what it looks like, it opens. It has a pocket with something in it that shows through the window. And then you have all this writing. Another pocket on this side. All of this writing. And then there's a pocket back here. So we're just going to play around because, like I say, everybody's junk mail is different, and I will show you the basic of how to put them together. You need 2 junk mail envelopes. Doesn't matter if they match. This one, I had the same exact envelope, but you don't need that because on this one, I obviously didn't. This one has 2 windows. This one had a bigger window. So you can use just any that you have as long as they're the same height. I feel like you need them to be the same height. Okay, so that will be our project that we do today. But I wanted to say, let me grab my slow stitch real quick. Okay, so as you can see, there's a lot of these black threads across here. Anybody that slow stitches probably knows what that is and probably thinks, well, you made those really big. I did because I have no patience. But I have to say, even this process was very relaxing. I loved it. I was smiling the whole time, and I thought, I love this. I really do. And what this is, it's tacking. You tack down these pieces where I could take out all the needles that I had holding it together, which is brilliant because I thought to myself, I'm going to stick myself 100 times before I get everything slow stitched down. And thank you to Allie for recommending Sarah Humphrey. That is a YouTube channel, and she has so many videos on slow stitch. And she is where I learned to tack things down. You could take the needles out. This will be cut and removed at the end of the project, so you won't see that. So it doesn't matter what color that is. But I thought I would share with you where I'm at. All I've done so far is tack it all down. We've had some unexpected appointments this week, so I didn't have a lot of time to work on it. But I have to say, this process might be my new favorite thing. I love it so much. It was so relaxing just to sit here and do this. I loved it. So I just wanted to share with you where I was at on that. And also the people that recommended different colors for me to use, because I had asked, said I don't really know what colors to use. And I had so many people to give me suggestions, and I thank you so much for that. But unfortunately, I didn't write down the names. That was prior to me remembering and learning that to say thank you, I needed a name. But some said to use pink and maybe some green, and then, maybe some neutral colors, but probably not red. So far, I really haven't decided. I haven't looked through my bag to see what I'm going to use, but I loved the pink idea because I really think that will pull, and the green. I love that. So I may end up using a little bit of all three, pink, green, and red. Might even use a little bit of yellow, because these little yellow flower buds in there, that would look good. But I was just going to show you where I was at on that. You can see all my tacking back here, and what happens is you'll just cut that and pull it through when it's done, and that way it's easy to work on it. Nothing falls off while you're slow stitching. Okay, so I'm just going to grab some of my envelopes that I had previously, I mean like years ago, probably Rit dye. They're yellow, and these were the two I had left, and looks like they're the same kind as these. A smart thing, I could have used these two together and these two, but I was trying to mix it up to show it really didn't matter what you used. So I'm going to just use these two to show you how I put them together. And right off the bat, I see this probably needs to be glued to that. But before we start, well, no, let's just go ahead and start. I'm going to go ahead and open up the sides. And again, all this rough tear, I love that. I have a letter opener, but I don't use it to open them because I like the rough tears. I like how they look. And as you can see on this other one, see that the rough tear on that? I just love it. And then I inked it, and I just think it looks so pretty. I really do. Can't help but throw in just a little bit of grungy with my stuff. So I open up the ends of both envelopes. Okay, and then this part here, you kind of need to know the size of the signature that you're going to put it in. So I won't need to keep this. I won't need to keep this edge, so that's good. Sorry for all the beating and banging. Riley. Navy's in here with me, and he's playing his little heart out. I'm trying to make sure I don't do the same thing. Okay, so I want the outside to be like this. Okay. So then what I did is I knew that the signature I was going to put, or the journal I was going to put it in, was a normal 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper folded in two. So that made my cover roughly 5.5 inches wide. So what I did when I put my envelopes end to end like this, it's just on my little mat here, I measured putting them together. And I measured how far out I would need to bring this one to be 5.5 inches. And it's about right there. I know that to be 5.5 inches, this is about where I need my envelope to be glued. So then I just made a mark with my pencil to know that that's where I'm going to start. That's where I want to glue this one. And then I just drew a line to make sure it was straight. Like so. And if you want to ink it, you probably want to ink it before you put it down, because when you open it up, you are going to see this part. So I think I'm going to go ahead and ink it a little bit just to give it some color, because I know that these are going to be in the bright journal. It's probably turquoise, like patina, I would say. I had so many people responding with such great ideas on adding color to pages, and I just want to mention a few of those because that was my last video, adding color to pages, and I wanted to mention that because they were things I either had and hadn't thought to use, or just, flat never thought to use them, or people that have done their own testing and, you know, let us know how they were, how they're, how that turned out. So as I'm gluing here, I'm just going to ramble for a little bit. But I think her name is Bet. I think I called her Betty before, but I think it's Bet. And she said that cake decorating gel, you can get it at Hobby Lobby, and it's like $1. And she said that it will give a really great color too. And then I just run glue down this line, and I'm not going to run it all the way to the bottom because I know that part of it's tore out. So I'm just going to guess where I think that glue will stop. And these aren't really the same height. It doesn't look like. And that's okay too. So anyway, Bet, she said that cake decorating gel. Now, I wouldn't have thought about that. And to be honest, I don't know if I've ever purchased cake decorating gel in my life. That's a lie. I did. Yes. Somebody's birthday, and it was in a little pin-like thing. And I think that's what it was. And you just kind of wrote on the cake. Anyway, she said it was great for coloring. Also, Candy, you touched my heart. She was telling me, now isn't this cool? See, it just folds shut. And I'm going to go ahead and tear off the extra of the envelope that, really doesn't serve a purpose. I might leave a little bit of it. She touched my heart. She said that she used her water-based markers. And I have done things with water markers like the Crayola. Spit it out, Christy. Crayola markers. They're really good. They're water-based. Anything that says, will come out of clothes for children is a good water-based marker. And I've used that before. But what got me, she was saying about doing it with her grandson, and that they would, do lots of papers, and he would have so much fun. And that just touched my heart, because I thought those kinds of projects, I mean, those are priceless treasures you're going to get from that. Anything he makes is just priceless to me. All right, so I've changed my mind. I'm tearing this off. Ooh, gosh. And then Janet reminded me, See, this was something I'd forgotten about, and I do love it. She's right as rain. Taking, and if you don't like coffee smell, again, remember that I forgot to write this one down. One said to use RIT dye, brown dye. And she said she had tested it, and it gives a nice dark color like coffee. But Janet said she used metallic paints and mixed in with the coffee. So, you know, whenever she dropped it and did the things, she got a beautiful metallic shimmer with that coffee look. Ugh. And I did that back in the summer. I would spray on metallics once I had taken it out of the tea. I have mixed it before, but it's been forever ago, and it does look so neat. And then Jeffrey said that he got some red paper at the secondhand store and put gesso on it, and that it gave a really, really neat look. And also, oh, look, I forgot to ink this. I should have inked this. I can still ink it, but been easier to do before I got that part down. Of course, I haven't glued down the sides. I've glued up part of it, but not all of it. So I'm going to ink this, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue down this flap a little better to make sure it stays. And then Marta said that she used re-inkers to get color, and that's a great idea, because I'm sure it's like the same as those watercolors. I bet it's really pigmented, very dark. I mean, you know, it shows up really good, I bet. So I thought that was a good idea. Having trouble finding my patina again, and I just put it away. So I'm just going to ink this before I glue down the sides. This will be our pocket. So now I'm just going to glue the sides, and that will be our pocket. And you could make this shorter if you didn't like how big it was. Didn't like that length. And actually, that I shouldn't have glued that yet. I forgot a step. Okay, so pretend I didn't just glue that, because now what I have to do is what I did, because it's taller than our journal cover, an 8.5 by 11 journal cover. So then I put it in my journal cover like this, and just kind of look to see where I wanted to cut it, that it wouldn't cut in to the windows. So I think this will be perfect. And then I took my pencil again, just made a mark down each side, and then I cut it with my, actually I think I used my decal edge cutter, of course. Well, that's what I'm going to use this time. Then before I do too much more, I'm just going to make sure that it fits height-wise. A little bit comes out, but if you know me, I don't mind that. I like things poking out the top and everywhere else, and I don't really have that much room left, so I'm going to leave it just as it is. I love that. Plus, if you put any kind of fabric or anything like that around your journal, I'm not going to that one. It's one of the bright ones, but, you know, it would allow for a little bit more height. Now, I just made my inside pieces, and I did those, like I said. Oh, I guess I better go ahead and glue down my sides again that I just got off. This one, I guess I glued it in enough. I don't need to glue anymore. This one I need to glue. And I did so around my other one just because I felt like it, but you sure wouldn't need to. I mean, they look so good with all the inking and the colors, and, you know, we're going to decorate the outside, and I would probably do some stamping. I didn't do that on mine, but you certainly could. Now, the ones that I made pockets on where it showed through, they were the smaller window. So I was able to fold this over and make a pocket. I don't have any more of those left, so I can't really show you how, but I think that's really self-explanatory. I just folded it like this because my window was a lot smaller on both sides. It would be like if this top one wasn't here, I could fold this one over with no problem and have a tuck on the inside. But again, like I said, everybody has different envelopes, so maybe this is the kind of envelope you have, and it wouldn't allow for a tuck spot. So that is basically it. And then like I said, I did some watercoloring and doodling to glue into the windows. But I had a different idea this time. Last time I used the book page that, you know, it'd be hard to write on that. Plus, I did the sewing. I love the sewing. I love the grungy look of it. I won't cover it up. I mean, I guess you could write in here somewhat. You don't really need to. But if you wanted to sew and then glue something over it to write, where you would cover up the sewing, you could sew first. But, you know, I'm more on the grungy side, so I don't really care about that. But I am going to show you a little bit how I did the watercolors, if anybody cares about that. Plus, I have some watercolor paper that I think will actually work better than the book page. I'm going to grab that. So my friend Judy, she found these at a secondhand store, and they were already like this, these little covers, and they had these watercolor sheets, and it's good. I mean, it's thick card watercolor paper, and they were already cut down and put in there, so probably somebody was probably really good at it, which, you know, it wasn't me. It's not going to fit over that one. Well, shucks. I was hoping that I could use these to do my watercolors with and then put over those, but not going to work. Too short. But I am going to make some really neat things out of these one of these days. I love those. So, let's see. Let's get some. I think I have a digital that's going to work perfect for this. Hold on just a second. I found a few digitals, actually. Now I just have to decide what I want to use. I think on some of them, these would be really neat. I love these bursts of color in these digitals. I was trying to see. It doesn't say where they came from. But if anyone's interested or wants to know, I know I got them off of Etsy. I can certainly look it up for you. But I think these would be great. Look, wouldn't that be a cool picture to put in there? Oh, gosh, I love that. Something like that would look good. I was also thinking about, I don't know if this would work, but something like that. Wow, isn't that pretty? To glue it, you could either glue it all down or just to the picture, you know, just where the cutout was at. I was thinking more on the whimsical side because I think they're probably going to go in my bright journals. And I had these crazy cats, is what I call them. I don't know. But I thought maybe those would fit in there, but they're not going to. They would fit in the smaller one, but not the big one. So what I might, I know you can print them different sizes. Some of these I printed on sticker paper. Now, that would be fun. I could just actually put it on the outside, and then, you know, on the inside it would still be whatever I wanted it to be. Let's see what that looks like. Let's put one of these on the outside. And again, this is the same digital. I just printed it on sticker paper. I just thought these were funny. And I think these cats came from the same person that did the other ones that I liked with the little boy and girl. That's fun. I like that. I really do. And look, it shows on both sides. So that would be fun to open up and see that cat on one side staring at you. I like it. That's if you don't mind that this is here. I like it because I like the sound. You know, I'm all about the noise and the grungy, so I'm thinking that I might just put one of these on this one too. And then put one of her little sayings. There were sayings that went with it, just quirky things. Like, pretending to be normal is exhausting. Like, I could put that right through there. Not user-friendly, that's me. Something like that, just to make it kind of a wonky one. I like that. I like that idea. But these are just, you know, I'm just throwing out ideas. And again, I think that even, like, I could put the little girl on this side, little boy and girl on this side, and then the wonky cats on the other, because if I don't put it in the center of my signature, they're not going to be side by side, and it's all just about bright color, these books are. So I think that might just be perfect. To get it to fit, I would have to leave a little bit of the window open. I'm actually okay with that. Maybe I could put some trim across there. That would be a good idea. Because I hate to take this little balloon away. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tear across here. I'll save this one for another picture. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue that to where the, you know, it's showing still at the top. And then I'm going to use some, I'm going to find some lace or something. Not lace, but maybe some trim or ribbon. Something to go across that top where it will not look like a big gap there. Ooh, I really love that picture. I really love that. So now I'm thinking I have some muslin pieces. I'm wondering about putting a piece across there that has a word, like, or a saying or something like that. What do you think? I think that would look cool. That would look neat. And, you know, we could always spray this muslin with some of that metallic spray. Let's do that. Okay. What are we thinking? You know, that's got red, blue, and yellow, or orange. I like this metallic. It's really pretty. So that's what I'm going to spray on my cloth. Doris, I cannot thank you enough for reminding me I have these. I'm so excited about them. I've used them several times today. So what do we think? Is that going to look neat? Yes, that's going to look neat. We're doing that. Ooh, look at that spray paper. Isn't it going to be pretty? We'll have to use it in those journals too somewhere. Okay, so I'm just going to let that dry. Move that paper out of the way. And then what do we want to put here? Another cat, even though it's not full size. And maybe a wonky word or something above it. Let's do that. So if we put him up here, and then we could put maybe something like hashtag stay weird. I love it. Do you like it, or am I just went off my rocker? I do like that. We go from the sweet, sentimental little boy and girl to this. I know, I've lost it. goodness, that about ate my lunch trying to get that thing off there. Okay, here we go. That, and then I'm going to ink around this in something bright. I like that so much. It just fits me. Okay. And don't worry about this side. It will dry clear. We could have stamped something on this side where it would show through. Shouldn't I? That's what I should have done before I glued it down. Oh, well. That's okay. So I'm going to look for a neat word or a saying, neat saying to stamp on there. Okay, I think I have a good one here. It says, follow your dreams. I'm going to stamp that on this muslin. Doesn't that look pretty? I love it. I love it so much. I don't know why this project is just really tickling me, but it is. I love it. So I'm going to glue that across there. Could sew on it too, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to glue it. Who knows? We might later, huh? We can always change our minds. And I've left the edges standing up and off where they will give that raggedy look. Because look, when it's in a journal, and this is going to be neat, it's going to peek out of the top, and I love that. Love it. Okay, so there is that. And then I was thinking, you know, I could have sprayed this too. I think that would look neat. But I also have some of those funny, wonky stamps. Art by Marlene. I love those stamps. They're not on the right page, but this is really the stamps. And I think I'm just going to stamp some of those around on this. I don't really think I need to do a lot to this. I love that you can obviously tell it's junk mail. I don't like to alter that because, I mean, I do sometimes. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that I really do like to keep the look of it. Ooh, that looks cute. But sometimes I go over the barcodes and things like that. So as you can tell, I've just done a lot of stamping here. I even stamped on this because I use StazOn and it will dry. Well, this is from here. Let me use a finger that doesn't have anything on it. See, it dries. The StazOn will dry. Nothing else. Well, the Ranger inks will, if you don't use a lot and you have to wait a long time for it to dry. But the StazOn will dry right away. But I loved it. I loved how it looked on there. And I just used different colors. And those, like I said, those stamps were Art by Marlene. And I love how this turned out. It's just a wonky, fun writing spot. I hope that you like this. And then, of course, this one's just a little bit different when I did my doodling inside. Love those. Love that metallic spray. Thank you so much, Doris, for reminding me of that. And then here is the original one that had the pockets. Now, I didn't decorate this one. I will. But I love it. I love how the things shine through. I really think this is a neat idea to do two of them together, and you can just do so many things with them to use up that junk mail and make beautiful things. You can do this in grungy and vintage, and you don't have to have bright colors like me. It's just, I knew that I was going to put them in my bright journals more than likely, so that's the route I went. But I hope you like them. I hope you'll give it a try. I really have enjoyed using some junk mail this January. And don't forget, February is February Flush. So be saving those paper towel rollers, your toilet paper rolls, anything like that that you want to use. And Carol has already sent me a really, really, really cute idea for some paper towel. I'm sorry. I think they were toilet paper rolls is what she used. Anyway, I can't wait to make them. Really cool idea. Thank you guys for all the suggestions, all the comments. I promise you, from now on, I'm going to be writing them down so I don't forget. Look, I even put them in my cute little notebook. I have all of these pages of who told me what, and I'm going to do better about that. And I do listen, and I do really enjoy your comments, your ideas, and I'm going to use them. I can't say enough how this community shares with each other, and I just think that's great, because this will not be a channel where I ban you for giving your idea or linking somebody else's idea. That's what we need to do. We all need to be sharing, and I think that's great. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked this idea, and I will see you next time. Bye.